Good late morning to everyone, and thank you very much for choosing this track here. So I'm going to talk about how insurers create value and monetize using digital health platforms. And that's probably a session that requires more than 10 minutes and probably deserves more than 10 minutes. So I'm going to give you just a high-level view today. We have a booth out there, 513, so if you're interested in this here, then do come and see us afterwards. So some of you may know dacadoo. We've been around for 12 years. We are a Swiss technology company. We've got a very deep scientific foundation. So we have a professor team. We have chief medical officer, data scientists, filed a lot of patents, ISO certified, GDPR compliant, et cetera, et cetera. So we're pretty serious about our clients' business, and we're very serious about our business. We work a lot with life and health insurers. So in Asia, Manulife is a client, FWD, we've got a global contract with HSBC, we work with Aon globally and corporate wellness, and last week we just announced EFU Life, the second largest life insurer in Pakistan, is launching on dacadoo as well. So we're a pretty established business, and these organizations are relying a lot on our capabilities. So our traditional proposition is digital health engagement. And this is where we enable our clients to have a conversation on health and well-being. So the users will understand the health, manage their health, and improve the health. But insurers always do this for a business reason. The days of where we do it for marketing or just because we want engagement are truly over. This really drives business now. So many insurers that work in emerging markets, when they go to the market and say, hello, we're insurance company XYZ, we'd like to sell you a product, people say, I've never heard of you, and what is an insurance product? Well, insurance product is where you pay me some money, and I may never pay you some money back. And people say, that sounds like a really bad idea. So insurers are often looking for a different way to try and get a contact with the community, something that's super digital, because emerging markets all was born digital. So they go to market with these health and well-being solutions, and it's all about acquisition, collecting a lot of data, profiling people, and choose the people you want to sell products to. We find in more established markets, saturated markets, a lot of focus on persistency, how to keep the customers, how to reduce the lap rates. And obviously, if you have an ongoing relationship with people on health and well-being, they trust you, they trust your brand, that's a huge loss of value if they go to another insurer. I will later on my last slide share some actual outcomes from clients, so it's not only going to be words. So a lot of focus on upselling and cross-selling. If we collect more data, we better understand people's circumstances. We can look for opportunities to increase the cover. Maybe you sell some riders as well. So it's really based on people's actual demand. Many insurers have been launching sort of marketplaces where they have telehealth and maybe medication delivery or smoking cessation programs. But they just lives in a marketplace, and people doesn't know they exist. They don't know where to find them. They don't see the use for it. So many insurers now are beginning to incorporate all these services into an ongoing engagement. So the right people are being offered the right services, the right partners at the right time. And it really increases the utilization of all these investments that insurers have been doing. Interestingly enough, there's not a lot of focus from insurers on health improvement, because that drives a claims reduction, which is like 10 years down the road. So a lot of focus at the moment with these solutions here is about acquisition, persistency, upsell, and cross-sell, and increased utilization of other digital assets they have. And underpinning that is, of course, a lot of data and a lot of insights. Midterm, insurers are very much looking to monetize the data as well. If you have far more data, you can design better products, you can manage risk better, you can change the cover, but you can potentially also go to reinsurers if you can prove that the books you have, the people are relatively more healthy than the corresponding risk tables as well. And those conversations are actually taking place today, as you are going to see slightly later. So I spent a bit of time on this slide here because this really explains a lot what the situation is. So digital health engagement is not just about doing something that's nice and comfortable. It drives real business for clients today. So if you look at the region here, it is by far the most developed region in the world when it comes to digital health engagement. When I joined the company about 7.5 years ago, there was a number of POCs going on. Let's test something with Fitbit, let's do something with weight loss, etc. Everyone was learning something. Then it moved into the time where we had Vitality, or AIA launching Vitality, Manulife launching Move. Very much a situation of we know we have to do this, we have a lot of questions, and we need to go and find the answers ourselves because no one have them. Where the market is in Asia right now is all about people understand that having those ongoing relationships, having that data, actually gives tremendous opportunities in the way you distribute products, the way you design products, the way you price products, the way you take your proposition to market, the way you feed agents leads, how do you increase conversion, etc. So this is becoming very strategic. It's very transformational for many businesses. And most of the contracts in our company are typically 5 to 7 years because insurers rely on us to take them through a very long journey. So this is all about the money today, very, very central. Now, this is not only about technology. You can implement the greatest technology on the planet and you can completely mess it up. You mess it up if you're not very clear on what you want to do. The clients of ours that have the absolutely best result are very clear on what's the business reason why I'm doing this. I'm not trying to do 2 or 3 things at the same time. I will choose one single business objective. I will choose a segment I want to target. What's the segment I need to target for this specific objective? What are the propositions that will resonate with those people? And how does that affect the experience I'm going to design? So more and more clients are beginning to focus and they do something maybe only for 10-15% of the population and they let go of the other parts. The more focused you are, the stronger results you get commercially and in terms of ongoing engagement. So technology is only half the equation. Having a well-planned and a well-implemented strategy is absolutely critical to success. So in our solution, why does people keep on coming back? How do you get that ongoing stickiness? How do you collect the data? Really comes down to 2 things. First of all, getting people to overcome the first hurdle when it comes to health and well-being. If you heard the first thing people they see is you've done 12,000 steps and you slept 6 hours and your heart rate is 75. Most people say, what does that mean? Am I good or bad? How do I compare to other people? So the starting point always has to be extremely simple and it has to be very personal. So the way we do it, for instance, in dacadoo, which is very core to what we do, and most of our patents is around the digital health score, the dacadoo health score. So the health score is a number between 0 to 1,000. The higher the number you are, the more healthy you are. It's a real-time number that will change whenever you do something that is better or worse than what you usually do. The health score engine can consume and interpret close to 100 data points. Your physical activity is 90 different activities it can understand. You can understand scuba diving, gardening, tai chi, trampoline, ballroom dancing, running, cycling, what have you. Anything that requires movement, it can understand. It understands what you eat, drink, how you eat and drink. Sleep, mindfulness, mental well-being, presence of disease, family history, etc., etc. So the score is really important because if people in the beginning understand, this is where my score is, this is how I compare to other people like me, and I'm in control of my health, you overcome this first hurdle. Then it all comes down to giving people reasons and opportunity to engage. Different people have different reasons. Some people are really driven, they love their points or their challenges or their goals. Other people just like to get inspiration from a coach or do things for charity or look at social media. It's absolutely fine because at the end of the day, what you want to have is many relationships and you want to have deep relationships. So you need to understand what makes sense for a consumer for them to continue to come back. So it's all about giving reasons to engage and opportunities to engage. This is absolutely critical for ongoing stickiness, and that's how you monetize things as well. So in our company, for instance, being around for 12 years, we have an enormous amount of knowledge now on How do you build these solutions? How do you launch them? How do you activate people? How do you continue to engage people? When people are dropping off, what's the root cause? How do you reactivate people? All this knowledge we have. We know what functionalities works best, what combinations works best, what happens if you do this versus doing 3 or 4 times. All that knowledge, all that insights we hold in dacadoo, being a 12-year-old company. So this is where our clients also becomes very successful. They buy the best technology on the planet, but they also partner with dacadoo to continuously understand how do we continue to refine the engagement. Because let's be honest, insurance companies knows nothing about their customers. dacadoo knows a lot, and we share that as part of the journey. So if you look at the risk side of things, I mentioned earlier, that's a huge part of monetization as well. It's less developed. It's a even more serious conversation. It requires reinsurers, regulators to be on board. But these types of underwriting decisions using a lot of new data and real-time data is beginning to happen right now. We have a client in Japan, worked with a reinsurer as well, and FSA approved the product. So the regulators and the reinsurers are getting on board as well. So on this slide here, which will be my last slide, I cannot give you actual numbers because my clients will get really upset. But I'll give you some narrative on what they are learning. So for clients that are using dacadoo solution, they go to market, make it available for free, and what they do is they essentially use that insights to offer insurance products. When they look at the conversion rate for people that are using the dacadoo-powered service versus people that are not using the dacadoo-powered service, they see conversion rates that are many, many times higher. And it makes perfect sense because at that point, people understand the brand, they trust you, and they get value, and you have a great opportunity to convert into a sale. For people that are existing clients, there is a much higher propensity for them to buy additional cover or additional riders for the same story. They trust you, they engage with the brand on day-to-day, they believe what you offer them is of value to them. We see, not unsurprisingly, lapse ratio being significantly lower because people doesn't want to lose their personal health score and all the data. You go to another company, you're going to lose all that knowledge, all those relationships, all the value you build up over time. And really interesting is that reinsurers now are recognizing that populations that are using these health and well-being solutions are most likely relatively lower risk than what the corresponding life tables are saying. The life tables are based on limited data, historical claims that has less and less to do with people's actual lives and the future. So insurers are beginning to use these advanced capabilities to say, look, I have this cohort, they all have a cancer rider. I can now prove to you scientifically that this cohort is 7.9% lower risk compared to the risk table we are using in this country. Let's have a conversation. And reinsurers, please don't shoot me down, but I hear that reinsurers are getting very interested in being involved in those conversations and potentially revisit how products are priced based on that level of insights. So this is very, very high level of the business outcomes we are seeing today in Asia. This is all Asia, everything I told you. And this is all about having meaningful engagement, ongoing engagement, collecting data and using that data. And these are some of the benefits that we see. As I said, if this is your interest in this, we are on booth 513. Thank you very much for listening in. I hope you found it interesting. Enjoy your day. Cheers.